Wednesday, 11:28 p.m. Drinking a Topo Chico. And I got little Miss Jill Bean right here. She's just hanging out, doing cute. She always wants that microphone. What? Okay. You guys remember this setup? How cool is this? I haven't done this in a while. Also, it probably doesn't sound and look as good as it usually does because I generally have like a boom microphone and then a light and whatever. I didn't set all that up. I'm on my lunch break. I just have a couple minutes. Alrighty, you read the title. Talking about the AirPod Pros. This is kind of like a daily vlog review of the AirPod Pros. How do they fit into life as a daily vlogger? Before I jump too far into it, a little bit of backstory. So yesterday as I was at work, I was going through my bag having to grab a couple things and I started realizing that this is gonna be a problem. She's actually on my tripod right, hang on, wait. That's a problem. Hey, you gotta get down. No, you can't have that. You gotta get down. Get up there on the counter or get down. Get down. No. That's why you gotta get down. All right, sorry about that. Don't get up there again. No, get down. It's so pitiful. All right. So yesterday, I'm going through my camera bag, moving some stuff around, organizing some stuff, and I started noticing my headphones that I use for editing, which is the Beats Studio 3 headphones. They are wireless, noise canceling, over-ear headphones. They look like this. So when I saw those and I started trying to move them to a better spot in the bag, it started to occur to me that these are kind of big and they take up a lot of space in my bag, and they're not heavy, but they're definitely heavier than something like AirPods would be. So my wheels started kind of turning. Is there a better solution for everyday use for a daily vlogger? I need something that I can edit with, something for casual listening, something that I can use in the evenings when I'm eating dinner. I'll explain that in a second. Something that I can exercise. I just need something that covers the whole thing. And for obvious reasons, I leaned into the AirPod Pros because everybody has AirPods these days. And the AirPod Pros really seem to kind of fit the bill for everything that I'm looking for. So after I got off work yesterday, I actually left and went to Best Buy and just bought a pair. And funny enough, I actually filmed like the entire experience and had full intentions of putting it in yesterday's episode, but it was gonna make the episode like crazy long and I just didn't wanna do that. So I didn't put it in. Got the AirPods, used them last night, used them this morning, and now I have somewhat of a conclusive review that I'd like to give. Now, there are two very important things that you need to know on the front end. Number one, this is not a sponsored ad. I do not know the people at Apple. I've never communicated. I've never talked to them through Instagram or email or anything like that. This is in no way a sponsored or an ad thing. These are truly my own thoughts. Now, I am a big Apple guy, so it might be slightly biased, but at the same time, I am going to be completely honest with whether or not these are good or not, whether or not they work for me. And number two, I'm really considering returning the AirPods once this is all said and done. So I bought them through Best Buy. Best Buy has a 30-day return policy, and I'm not gonna return them because I don't like them. I'm going to return them because they were a little over $250, and that's a lot of money that could go to way better things. I need a new vehicle. We have a vacation coming up. Like, there's all sorts of stuff that cash could go towards. I'm undecided as to whether or not I'll return them, but as of right now, probably. But that's not going to stop me from still giving you a review of what I think about these and enjoying them for the next 30 days. All right, so we're going to break this review down into 3 steps. Step number 1, the unboxing. I admit the throwing the knife thing might have been really funny, but it went under our refrigerator, and that's not gonna be easy to get out. Get off. The unboxing experience was great. It's everything that you kind of expect Apple to be. It's generally the same for pretty much any product across the board. They're going to have a very, very similar look and feel regardless of what box it is, regardless of what product it is. Just, it's all going to feel very much the same, and these are no exception. Unboxing experience, 2 thumbs up. Step number 2, the first impressions. Right? Whoa. That was trippy. I mean, I have noise canceling headphones, but what the heck? It sounds like everything, like the TV and the refrigerator and everything just turned off. Like our whole building just lost power. Okay, you wanna hear some music? Is that weird? So now they're in transparency mode, so you can hear me. Almost as if you're not wearing earbuds. But then I turned it on, and it's like everything goes away.
You hear it like boom.
So listen to the Now this is the first pair of AirPods that I've ever owned, so I really didn't know what to expect. I was genuinely mind blown when I put the earbuds in for the first time and the noise canceling activated. I've got noise canceling headphones, but this was like a whole nother level. I've never had anything just earbuds go in and then all of a sudden silence. It's kind of like the dead silence that you hear just before something really awful happens in like a scary movie. First impressions were pretty great. I've heard a lot of people really rag on AirPods in the past. The old ones, not necessarily the pros. And so I wasn't expecting a whole lot going into it, but once I put them in and I turned on the noise canceling and I listened to a little bit of music, I was pretty impressed. And then finally, step number 3, an overview. Now, I'm gonna break the overview down into 3 parts as well. Convenience, performance, and usability. Convenience is a 10 out of 10. They are super convenient to have and to own. They fit right into your pocket. They even fit into the little coin change small pocket that nobody ever uses in their pants. They fit right in there. That's actually where I keep them. The AirPods are great. As soon as you pull them out and you drop them in the case, they fit right where they're supposed to go every single time. There's no fidgeting with them or anything like that. The case is wireless charging, which makes things really easy because I have wireless chargers, and if I don't have a wireless charger accessible, it just takes a lightning port just like my iPhone does. So convenience factor, 10 out of 10. Next up, performance. So for the performance, I'm gonna talk about kind of the audio quality and just the overall tonality of the earbuds themselves. And for this portion, I'm actually gonna give them an 8.5 out of 10. Now, full disclaimer, take what I say with a grain of salt. I mix music professionally pretty much on a weekly basis. I mix live bands and live vocals and all sorts of stuff. So I'm really particular when it comes to EQ and the way that things sound and the way things are presented. I'm really nitpicky, so just take what I have to say with a grain of salt. Overall, they actually sound really good. They have more low end than I was expecting. They do have a little bit of a thump, which I really like. The mids sound really good. Honestly, the highs or the treble, it does sound really good. It sounds really clean. It's not as bright as I would like it to be, but again, I'm crazy nitpicky when it comes to headphones. They're probably more than sufficient for just your average everyday user. To put them into comparison, I would say they are as good, if not slightly better, than my Beats. And I really like my Beats. I've had them for probably going on 2 years now. I use them on a daily basis. I love my Beats. So for me to say that something is as good, if not slightly better than my Beats and might even replace my Beats, that's kind of a big deal. So performance, 8.5 out of 10. And lastly, we're gonna talk about usability. How do they work for me as a daily vlogger and like a daily listener? So yesterday when I got home, I listened to them just casually, just jamming out to some music for a while, and they were really great. They sounded really great. The noise canceling and the transparency were fantastic. It's really nice that I could turn on the noise canceling and I could block out everything that my wife was doing and I could just listen to my own music and not really be bothered by hearing this, that, and whatever. But if she started talking to me, I could give the little stem just a really slight little squeeze, transparency mode on, I can hear everything she and I are saying. Then we got to dinner. Now, this is something I've really never shared with you guys before, but you know, this vlog is all about transparency, so, you know, let's be honest for a second. I have a really hard time with people who eat or chew really loud. Like, it makes it really difficult for me to enjoy sitting down in a restaurant or eating with friends or stuff like that, just because when I hear people chewing or smacking and that's, it just, to a point that it makes everything miserable. Now, my wife doesn't chew that loud, but I can definitely hear her crunching next to me, and that drives me up the wall. So more often than not, in the evenings when we're watching TV together, I'll put on my Beats. I won't turn on any music or anything, but I just turn on the noise canceling feature. That way I can still hear the TV, but I can't hear her crunching next to me. Everybody's happy. So I wanted to use these for that purpose. I did. They were fantastic. They worked really great. As a matter of fact, the noise canceling feature actually worked too well. Like, I couldn't hear the TV. I actually had to turn the noise canceling feature off, but I have a white noise app on my phone. I turned that on and turned the volume on like 10%, just a little, like, it was, I think it's like an air conditioning sound is what I use. Fantastic. So I used those for the entirety of dinner and was very impressed. And that's probably something that I'll continue to use them for as well. And that's why it's important and it kind of needs to be in here. Then we get down to editing. So I edited the entirety of yesterday's episode with the AirPod Pros in, with the noise canceling feature on, just sitting down, hacking away at this edit. The edit took me an hour and a half to maybe 2 hours to do. I got to the end of it and felt fine. I didn't have any ear fatigue, my ears weren't hurting or anything like that. It did a fantastic job of blocking out everything else so I could just focus on my edit. That's my biggest problem, is I get really easily distracted and I just need to focus. I used them for a phone call earlier, just called my dad, shot the breeze with him for a few minutes. They were super comfortable, blocked everything out. He sounded great, I sounded, it was a great experience for everybody. And then lastly, the exercise test. Now there's lots of reviews on the internet about how these work for exercising. I wanted to test this for myself. So I set an alarm for this morning at 5:30. That alarm came and went. And I never got up. I mean, come on, 5:30, that's so early. So I didn't like do an exercise test, but I still feel like I need to at some point. Yeah, they're fine. They didn't wiggle or shake or anything. Sounded good. I'm already sweating, so they're not waterlogged. Yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah, okay. All right, so all in all, usability, I'd say a 9 out of 10. They did everything I needed them to do. Casual listening, phone call, editing, that, just 9 out of 10. So, all in all, at the end of the day, would I recommend these AirPods to you, regardless if you shoot daily vlogs or not? Absolutely I would. I'd probably recommend these over probably anything else. So, I'm thinking back to my original statement from the beginning of this episode. Would I keep the AirPods? And honestly, if we're like just being completely honest, now that I've used them, honestly, it'd probably be a